Yeah, Michael doing 0.
All right, good morning, everyone. Are you there? Can you hear me?
Morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Good
All
morning,
right, good
sir.
morning. Okay, so let's get started. So it's a new day. Today is Friday, the 3rd of May, 2024. Good morning, Momodu Bola, or good morning, Abimbola Motosho. Morning. So today is the famous NFP day, non-farm payroll, which is always the biggest news, in forex trading. Now, let me just say it ahead that it's possible the market may range in the morning before the news comes up in the afternoon. Reason is because all the countries are waiting for the outcome of this news, especially the major currencies, because it's going to affect, the currency of their country also. So it is possible. I'm not saying it's a guaranteed, but it's possible market could range and it's possible we may have some movement. Just whichever way it comes, just get yourself prepared for it. So this morning, we don't have any fundamental event. You can see it on the screen. I'm on Forex Factory page. We don't have any fundamental event this morning, so we can look at technical setup. But then in the afternoon, by 1:30 p.m., we're going to have the NFP. And by 1:15 p.m., we'll start the analysis for the NFP, at PO Prime here. So if you're funded, I believe by now you will have received an email containing the link to this live class. This class, the afternoon class, I mean, is strictly for funded clients. That is, the NFP live trading is strictly for funded clients. So if you're there, you are not funded yet, and you have a live account and you want to fund, you can do that. Just reach out to your account manager. They will guide you, or you can just send me a chat on WhatsApp. I'll guide you through how to do your funding. All right. So that being said, let's look at what we have technically for this morning. So I'll flip over now to MetaTrader 4, and we'll look at what the market holds for today. Okay, Momodu, I haven't received any mail, sir. Are you currently funded? If you're funded, if you have not received yet, I believe before afternoon. Yeah.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
I funded my account, I think, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Yeah.
And I still have your account at the moment.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
I said I funded it about 2 to 3 weeks ago.
Okay, and that's what I'm asking. Do you still have funds in the account as we speak?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, just relax. I believe they'll get across to you.
All right.
I believe. Yeah. Then always check the WhatsApp group that you belong also. There may be some messages there, for you before the news is released. So on the technicals this morning, we have just the major pairs. That's what I'll be looking at. Now, if the market is stable, this may also hold till afternoon when we have the NFP. I'm saying is that if there's no serious volatility, whatever setup we have now may still work in the afternoon. But even aside that, just relax. We'll still give you the updated analysis of the NFP by 1:15 p.m. This afternoon. So I'll look at the USD CHF. Okay, seems to be making a new low problem. Now, this is the USD CHF. It's still trading around a support level on the daily time frame. It's a key level. It's you can see here, it's a resistance here. Price tried to break it, but it's reversed back. It still holds here as a resistance and here as a support. So technically, if price is unable to break this level, the next thing is that we're expecting it to reverse from a technical angle. So if the news eventually comes out in such a way that the actual is greater than forecasted to support this technical setup, and the USD CHF will be expected to go bullish. So for now, I have a bullish outlook on the USD CHF. And like I said, if this holds till afternoon, it means we may be looking at buying the dollar for the NFP. But let's just look at that for this morning, pending whatever we'll see before 1:15 p.m. in the afternoon. So I'm looking for a bullish breakout on the USD CHF. So if I'm looking for a bullish breakout on USD CHF, then Euro USD will be looking bearish because it's negatively correlated to the USD CHF. Now, this is Euro USD. On the daily time frame, you can see price is equally on the key level. This is a support, a support, a support, a support, and price broke through the support to form a resistance. Price dropped and is back to that resistance. So technically, we should see, a downward movement in price. So we can flip down to 1 hour and even down to 15 minutes. Okay, it's not looking too sharp on the 15 minutes. Let's say 30 minutes here. It's having a pattern that looks close to a head and shoulder, which may lead to a drop. So I'm bullish on the USD CHF and I'm bearish on the Euro USD. Now, if this breaks out before afternoon, definitely you can take a sell on that. Even the USD CHF, if it breaks out before the afternoon, you may take a buy. It all depends on how volatile the markets will actually be. That's what will determine how far it can go before then. So for the USD CHF, I can go a step further by drawing a trend line right here. So we can draw a trend line right there and another one at the back in anticipation of a bullish breakout. Now, from what I'm seeing currently, I'm on 15 minutes, price might actually do an inverse and a break. It's a possibility, all things being equal. But even if it doesn't do that, I'm expecting a bullish, breakout on the USD CHF. So we have a similar pattern, but in the opposing direction on the Euro USD. Though this one is not really having a perfect trend line like that, but then it's still looking a lot like a head and shoulder. Let's just see how the price break plays out. This place can be the neckline, and we may expect, a bearish movement. So I'm bullish on USD CHF. I'm bearish on Euro USD. And next one I'll check is the AUD USD. And this one is having a lot of confluence for a possible bearish movement. On the daily time frame, we have price touching the trend line multiple times. This is the first time, the second time. At the third time, there was a bearish movement, and price is currently on the trend line now as at this morning. And technically, that may lead to a bearish movement. And that bearish movement can be determined by the outcome of the news later in the afternoon. If the news comes out good for the dollar, then that will lead to a decline in the price of the AUD USD. And another confirmation to that effect is the fact that there is a resistance, on the AUD USD right up there between these two levels, which is still a confluence again, which can even lead to a double top, all pointing towards a bearish breakout. So all that we found on the daily time frame, if you zoom down to 1 hour, you can clearly see on 1 hour that this is equally forming a head and shoulder which may lead to a bearish breakout. We can still draw a trend line further to see, capture the move. So I'm bearish also on the AUD USD. Still have a trend line there. Mr. Steven, it's like you unknowingly are drawing on my screen. Please take notes. So I hold a bearish outlook on the AUD USD, just like I hold it on the Euro USD. And also the New Zealand USD is equally looking bearish. But the New Zealand USD, it's very positively correlated to the AUD USD. They move the same way, So it's like you're trading the same currency twice. If you are trading them, they actually do the same thing most of the time. So it's having a trend line on the daily time frame, just like we found on the AUD USD. And price is touching the trend line the third time, which should lead to a bearish breakout. And just like we have on the AUD USD, we equally have a resistance right up there on the daily time frame again as a confluence. So we have a bearish outlook on the daily time frame, and on the 1 hour, we are seeing a head and shoulder pattern, which will lead to a bearish breakout. So I can equally still draw a trend line like I did for the AUD USD. But then we're not going to be waiting for price to break this trend line. So let me remove it so that it doesn't it doesn't confuse some of us. The emphasis is actually on the head and shoulder. Once price breaks out below the head and shoulder, this will be ripe to trigger a sell. So let me just remove that trend line. So we're bearish also on the AUD USD. And finally, this other one does not have the dollar, but then it may, because of the activity on the AUD and selling the AUD and Euro, this may equally move, and that's the Euro AUD. Now, the Euro AUD, it's one instrument I personally love. It can really move well. On the weekly time frame, you can see it price touching the trend line at least 3 times now on the weekly time frame, which technically should lead to a bounce in the bullish direction. And if you get closer on the daily, you can zoom it closer. All right, so we see that it's actually bouncing on the daily. And even on the daily time frame, we still have a support. We have a support level right there, and the current candle on that support level, though it is still within the trading days, looking like a rejection candle. But it's on the daily time frame, anything can still happen in the course of the day. So let's go down to 4 hour. It's still looking like a rejection candle on the 4 hour. And on the 1 hour, it's looking currently like an inverse head and shoulder pattern, which should lead to a bullish breakout. So I'm bullish on the Euro AUD. Now, this one does not contain the dollar. So if it breaks out before the news, you can take a buy. But please trade with caution before the NFP this afternoon. Trade with a lot of caution. So all the analysis I've given this morning, I'm bullish on the USD CHF. I'm bearish on the AUD USD. I'm bearish on the Euro USD, bearish on the New Zealand USD, and I'm bullish on the Euro AUD. So those are the 5 setups I want to share with us as we plan ahead of the NFP. USD CAD. All right, so let's take a look at USD CAD. Now, I gave a trade call on Euro GBP earlier in the week. I gave the entry take profit stop loss. This instrument has been ranging all week. Uh, I will advise maybe you should close it. If you entered into the trade, it didn't really move as expected. So the risk on it is still very minimal. Currently, it should just be on the minus 4 pips, depending on your account size. So if you're trading zero point 0.1 lot, that would just be $0.4. If you're trading 0.01, that would be $0.4. So you can close it. Honestly, it didn't move as expected. Let me just use the word. For Mr. Sonny that was asking about GBP JPY earlier in the week, that one went massively in the line of direction I said, analyzed. You can see the massive breakout down there. I believe Mr. Sonny will be in money now, except if he closed, except if he closed that trade early, about 500 pips on GBJPY. So that's just what is so funny because GBJPY went downwards, which will have led to Euro GBP going forward, going bullish, but somehow it didn't happen as expected. Even I think I gave an outlook on GBP CHF. It's every other GBP pairs went as expected, except Euro GBP. And because there's NFP today, I will advise if you have the Euro GBP trade, please close it. Close it. Don't keep holding on to it. So I'll look at USD card as requested. Please, if you have running trades, maybe you've been having it for days, please make sure you put stop loss. We really don't know what direction the NFP will take. We can only guide you from what we're seeing from the technical perspective. So make sure there is stop loss in place. If the news comes out to favor your trade, definitely to push you to profit. And peradventure, it's not favoring your trade. Your stop loss should protect your account. So for the person asking about USD card, this USD card on the daily time frame, price hit a support zone just this morning, and it's trying to go bullish. That's on the daily. If you come down to the 1 hour time frame, let's take it down to 15 minutes. Okay, it's not looking sharp on 15 minutes. Let's say 30 minutes. Okay, it looks a little better on the 30 minutes. This is still forming an inverse head and shoulder pattern, which should lead to a bullish breakout. So you can see that the dollar on the USD CHF and the USD card is both looking bullish. So that tells you that potentially it's possible the news may come out to favor the dollar. But let's just keep our fingers crossed till 1:15 p.m. when we do the proper analysis for the NFP. So USD card is bullish. And gold, Michael Oluwasonya gold. Now gold has been ranging since yesterday. It's been on a range since yesterday. So if it's ranging, I don't want to give any analysis on an instrument that doesn't have a definite pattern. So I won't be, even yesterday when I did the afternoon analysis, I said it that I didn't have any direct outlook on gold. And I still want to maintain, the same as we speak. I like to look at my trades first from the daily time frame. So, and I'm not getting anything clear on the daily. Yes, on the 4 hour, it's even looking more on the 1 hour. There seems to be a kind of a resistance, but I try to stick to my trading rule. So in a real sense, if the dollar will go bullish, gold will likely go bearish. Likely, let me use the word likely. If the dollar is bullish, gold may go bearish. So except you want to work on that sentiment, but then I'm not giving a direct analysis on gold for now, except I see something really clear later in the day. DJ30 and US 100. Now, technically, DJ30 is having a double bottom pattern, which should lead to a bullish, long-term bullish breakout. But then we should not forget the fact that it's actually a resistance up here, which is the next line. So it now depends on the direction of the news this afternoon. You know, the news comes out to, depending on how the news goes, if this resistance level, and you know, this is not just an ordinary resistance level, it's actually a key level from the past. Resistance, resistance. Sorry, support here, support on resistance. So the news, it depends on the direction of the news, can either reverse downwards or break out upwards. So I will advise to trade this instrument with a lot of caution for now. It's just in between buy and sell. It's in between buy and sell. So trade it with caution. That's DJ30. And for US30, sorry, NAS 100 rather. For NAS 100, on the daily time frame, you can see that price is trending up on the daily. And still on the daily, it seemed to form a kind of a triple bottom pattern here, which will lead to a bullish breakout. But then still, the final outcome depends on how the news, will affect the market. But I will not encourage you entering a trade on these indices this morning. They can be volatile, and you don't know how the market will be before the NFP. If you enter a trade, there's a danger in entering a trade this morning. If the volatility in the market is not strong enough to move that trade, it may throw you a negative, pending the outcome of the news. So that's why I say trade. If you have to trade at all, trade with a lot of caution. If you have a running trade, the best thing is make sure you have a stop loss in place. If your trade is already in profit, but it is yet to take profit, that is the trade you have that is running, still put a stop loss, or otherwise you can close it. If you don't want to close it, make sure you put in a stop loss, in which case you have locked in profit, not that you still have the stop loss exposing you in a form of a risk. No, moving, if you let's say you have like 40 pips, profit already. I'm not talking about $40 cash now. I'm talking about 40 pips. Look at it now in form of pips. Then put your stop loss to like 20 pips so that 20 pips of that trade is already safe. So that 20 pips of that trade is already safe while you have 20, running, not any one of it exposed. But if your stop loss means you are still exposed, move it to a safe level so that you are not too exposed in case the news doesn't go in line with the direction of your running trade. So I can't give any direct analysis on this, except the fact that price is a may. It's not a guarantee. It all depends on what happens on the day. But technically, we may see a continuation, all things being equal, on that on NAS 100. And I've mentioned Euro GBP. Close it. It's ranging. It's been ranging since we gave the analysis or the signal about 2 days ago, thereabout 2 to 3 days ago now, Seth. Just close it. BTC USD. Okay. BTC and Euro CHF. Those will be the last two sets of analysis I will do. BTC USD, earlier in the week, it really went in line of analysis. But then currently it's, let me see. Okay. What happened here? It all depends on the news today. Say a lot depends on NFP. NFP is the decider of many things that will happen today and even next week after the news was to be released. Now for BTC, price hit a psychological level here at $57,000 per BTC, and there was a retracement afterwards. But then what I'm seeing currently, let me confirm this. Yeah, we have a support turned resistance here. So BTC might experience a decline downwards. That's on 4 hour. That's 4 hour, 1 hour. Let's go down to 15 minutes. All right, so we have a rising wedge of 15 minutes. We might see a decline downwards in BTC, might decline downwards. So I hold a bearish outlook on BTC. Olubenga Jala, what is psychological level? Psychological level are all numbers. 1000, 2000. In this case, 57,000. Psychological level is like when our naira, our exchange rate hit 2,000 naira to a dollar. What happened? There was a decline. So the big banks, the big investment firms, hedge firms, they all look at these levels because they also act like support and resistance. Many times when price hits a psychological level, there will be a reaction. It's not a law that price will bounce off, but price will react around the psychological level. So that psychological level can act as a resistance or a support. At resistance, we expect the price to sell. When it gets to psychological level, at support, we expect it to buy. Like I say, it's an expectation. It does not mean it happens 100% of the time. There are exceptions. It's like our exchange rate, like I said, when it hits 1,000, in the case of Nigeria, what happened? It blew beyond 1,000. When it got to 2,000 naira, it's reversed. Even though people are projecting 3,000, why were they projecting all numbers? Those all numbers are called psychological level. The same thing happens in forex trading. When price gets to a psychological level, there will likely be. Because only I've given the analysis on USD card, it's bullish. All right, so I'll look at GBP USD and Euro CHF, and I think we'll end there. So let me check Euro CHF. Yeah, this is Euro CHF. On the daily time frame, it's actually we have a valid resistance level on the daily, and it actually looks a lot like a double top, which can give a long-term bearish breakout. So, but that's on the daily. We need to still flip down to a lower time frame. On the 4 hour, okay, it's still declining. But then this is a long-term trade. Until it gets to the neckline, I will not encourage you to enter. But if we are looking at the double top, yes, that's on the daily. It's a daily setup. Some setup are long-term, and you can't do anything about them until it gets to that level. Don't just go and enter a sell. I said it looks like it has not fully formed. It only becomes a sell when it breaks that line and trade downwards. But currently, I would not advise enter a trade on this one because anything can happen. What if it reverses from this place, or let's say retraces? Let me use that word retrace, not reverse. You understand? So even if it's going to retrace, there's no valid buy at the moment. There's no valid buy here at the moment. So there's no signal at the moment on Euro CHF for the person asking about Euro CHF. I always want to encourage us to use a weekly outlook. I gave a signal on crude oil, US oil on Monday on the weekly outlook for those that have access to the PDF. From the weekly down to the daily, it went in line. It's a head and shoulder, which will lead to a long-term bearish movement. Currently, it has dropped, judging by the entry, which is at Fibonacci 38.2. It has dropped by 175 pips this week. It retraced. So currently it's on like 99 pips profit. Always use the Outlook. It will give you, as at Tuesday also, when I did update on the Outlook, it already had generated about 1,500 pips between Monday and Tuesday. So the bulk of that was on the BTC USD, which went in line with the analysis. So always use the weekly Outlook. It will guide you. Everything has been done for you, including take profit levels. Always use it to your advantage. Okay, finally, I'll look at BTC USD. Sorry, GBP USD, not BTC USD. GBP USD.
Sorry, sir. Good morning, sir.
Yes,
I was trying to type, but because you are going to another, like you gave that analysis, the weekly analysis on our weekly outlook on the US oil on daily, because I think we have never taken any trade on a daily. Were we as expected to trade on that daily?
When I gave the analysis on Monday, I said you can enter based depending on your capital, you can enter preferably on a smaller time frame. But then I already gave the Fibonacci levels that even if you're going to do daily, that is safe. And that's what I showed just now.
Yes,
my Fibonacci just the same way. If you check the Outlook, entry was to be on Fibonacci 38.2, which is exactly this level at 80.230. So the question now is, what do you have a safe, capital to trade it? Because honestly, this can be volatile. So if you're on an account of less than $300, I don't encourage you to use less than, you have to use lot size of just 0.01. And with a lot size of 0.01, at least this will have given you about $15 between Monday and now, which is still a very good profit.
Yes, sir. So if you give analysis, sir, we can, in any time frame, we can enter trade there. Suppose we have enough capital, or even if we don't have, we can use our demo and trade it. We can enter in any time frame that is you give.
Sure, you can.
Yes, sir.
Just make sure you use the right lot size. That's the most important thing.
Thank you very much.
That's important. Yeah, don't use the lot size for 1 hour trade or daily. That one can be dangerous. You understand? That's why sometimes I'll say that if it's on a bigger time frame, you can enter based on a smaller time frame. If you have a strategy that can help you do that, fine.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, sorry, I have a question. It's something a little bit off, but I think I should just ask. Yes, it's based on this GPUs. I saw something, and it's something that happened in the last NFP. Or that's a friend of mine. They actually happened to. This you're pending. I believe this should be pending orders, right? On your GPU, they are pending orders.
Yes.
Okay. Something happened like sometime during the NFP. Sorry that I'm actually asking something that's not related to this, but I would love to learn. A friend of mine placed pending order and also puts, because I noticed, I don't know if you actually put a stop loss in this pending order. Did you, sir?
You mean the one for the NFP will put, if you are giving your live signal, we'll put stop loss. This is my personal trading.
Yes. Because when she puts, she actually put a stop loss and take profit in the pending order. But something happened. I don't know if it's a manipulation, if it's possible for it to be manipulated. And it went towards the said direction, but it didn't trigger it. Instead, it triggered the stop loss. It went down and it was reading all in loss. I don't know how that happened because she sent me a screenshot. I was like asking how possible it is if a broker can actually manipulate that.
Okay. Did you say the last NFP?
Yes.
Now, at the last NFP, the signal that was given was on USD CHF.
Okay.
So when we give signals, follow what we give. And it was a bullish setup on USD CHF. So what direction was your friend? Was she on the buy or sell?
She was on a sell.
I don't know, except I see. But there's no how a stop loss will be triggered and the entry will not be triggered.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. But is it possible that you put your stop loss and it goes, it doesn't trigger your trade and it goes opposite and it triggers the stop loss? Is it possible?
What is the question? Since the signal was not given on GBP USD, the question is what number of pips was the stop loss this person used? Because I hear when people start talking about manipulation, sometimes people don't understand how forex trading works. If you don't put a reasonable stop loss, you are putting 5 pips, 7 pips. There's no how it will not get triggered. Not on a currency like GBP USD that's very volatile, that spikes. It will be triggered. The stop loss will be triggered. You understand? So there's a reasonable level of stop loss that even if there's a spike, you will still be safe. But all these small stop loss of 5 pips, 7 pips, 3 pips, what's the spread? See, what about the spread on that currency itself? That's the first thing that will be accounted for if there is a move. You understand what I'm saying now? So it's possible that person used a very tight stop loss. If he uses a tight stop loss, price may go and eat it. And that is not a manipulation. That's one. Then two, in the advent of a major news event, not even a major, most news events. Now, there are people that will get the feed of our price and we call them liquidity provider. Usually, liquidity providers can widen spread during news. You can Google this information I'm giving you. Talking about liquidity provider, these are the big bank liquidity provider that does that. So if your stop loss is too tight, it will get taken out, and it is not a manipulation, at least not from the broker. Are you getting it now? Hello? Okay, I think I lost Big Green there. But then I believe everybody got that. So when you're trading, always use reasonable stop loss. It's important. And that's why if you see when I trade, I give room for reasonable stop loss. Sometimes people are afraid that if the stop loss is big, it will get taken out. If it's too small, it will be taken out. That's the truth. It will likely be taken out if it's too small. So let's take note of that when trading. And please follow the rules follow the instruction as we give it. If you say trade Euro USD, please, that's what you should trade. Stick with it. Those who took the instruction with the news, at least the NFP we had in April and even the CPI, they made massive profit trading the currencies that we gave because we have analyzed those currencies. All currencies don't behave the same way. You need to understand also the characteristics of the currency you are trading. Some will go in one direction, while some will spike. So those are things you need to know when you are trading, especially when it comes to news trading. Please note that news trading can be sensitive. That's the truth. The reason why we are encouraging you to trade is because we will give you the guidance to do it. Otherwise, it can be sensitive to trade. So follow the instructions to get the best result. All right. So for GBP USD, it's still close to what we have on the Euro USD, AED USD. From the weekly time frame, we have a support. So price seems to be breaking out above the support on the resistance side a little. Let me flip down to a lower time frame. This is a daily 4-hour. Okay, on 4-hour, we have a resistance. We have a resistance between these two. And currently price seems to be ranging. Just basically what we have seen on, if the USD CHF is going to buy, most likely GBP/USD may sell, even though I'm not seeing a clear pattern on it like I've seen on the Euro/USD and the AUD/USD, but then it may sell. It may sell if the dollar is going to be buying. So you can just tentatively have a bearish outlook. So one of the best ways to set your stop loss is to use, I'm responding to Mr. Michael now, Michael Ogbolu. Pardon me if I didn't pronounce your name well. Now, one of the ways to set your stop loss is to use support and resistance, or to use a Fibonacci. Using 5 pips, 10 pips, those things are not stable, to be honest. You're not, if I'm giving you a stop loss, I use either the Fibonacci or support and resistance, or sometimes I may use risk-reward ratio, and it's always a reasonable one. So some of these things are based on discretion, but as much as possible, follow the rules. Use support and resistance. If you don't know anyone at all, be able to identify support and resistance level. And if you're using support and resistance level, your stop loss can be, if it's a resistance, some pips above the resistance, and if it's, a bearish trade, bullish trade, some pips below the support. That way you will be safe. Or your most recent high and most recent low. What I'm saying is this: if you are on a bearish trade, this is a resistance level. This is a resistance level around here. You want to put a stop loss, make it some pips above. You're expecting price to go down, right? Make it some pips above that resistance. So put some stop loss here, and you say it's taken out. Why won't it get taken out? That's too close now. Above your resistance. It's going to be safe. But many times, the way some of us trade, because of some of these social media influencers we are watching, we want to stack 20 trades at a go with small stop loss. Okay. If it works for you, no problem. But sometimes some of those things are not stable. That's the truth. All right. I think we're going to end the class right here. Like somebody is saying something there.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, sir.
Sir, please, I want you to help me just analyze this USD card. I didn't understand. I'm looking at the candle, but I don't understand the formation. Whether, it's inverse head and shoulder that will trigger the buy. Because you said it's bullish, but I don't understand looking at the candle why it is going to be bullish. Thank you.
You can see the screen, sir. It's an inverse head and shoulder.
Okay. It's not looking like
level.
It's not looking like it.
At times, you have to use the eyes of experience to see these things. Sometimes it does not look like it's like as directly as you expect. That's the truth. And what I do sometimes also is that I was still teaching this at the Lagos office yesterday. Sometimes when it's not looking so clear like that, I'm coming. You can as well. Let's try the line 2. What's it called? The line chart. You can see on the line chart it's looking like it.
Even in 1 hour, it's already looking like an inverse head and shoulder.
So if your pattern is not clear, switch to the line 2. That is, the line chart rather. For me, that's just one of the few ways I use the line chart. Otherwise, the line chart doesn't give much information. But when it comes to patterns, it can make it a little bit clearer. If the candles are not doing sufficient justice, the line chart can make it clearer. So thank you, Madam Onaji. She gave her input on that on 1 hour. So even on 1 hour, it's already looking like an inverse because this is shoulder. That rejection candle is the head. And mind you, that rejection candle is on the support level. Second shoulder and up. Sorry. For the link, somebody is asking, how do we get our link, sir? Just watch out. Watch out in your email. Watch out in the WhatsApp group. You'll be contacted for the NFP class. All right. We're going to end here. Yeah?
Good morning, Oga Rotimi.
Morning, sir.
Yeah, if one is available, can one come to the office for physical?
For physical what, sir? For NFP?
For the NFP trading.
No, we're not doing physical.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Online. Yes, sir.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Emmanuel, I'm not in the WhatsApp group, but you got the link to this class, to this analysis session from a WhatsApp group. Just be active in that WhatsApp group. You get the link. You get all the information you need from there. Okay.
All right. Have a wonderful day, sir.
All right. So that, yeah, you too. All right, everybody. Bye-bye. Enjoy your day.
Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate you. Thank you, sir.
very
You're
much.
welcome.
I appreciate it. God bless
You're
you.
welcome. You're welcome, man.
Talk to me.